In today's video, we will be completing all 44 Black Ops Cold War achievements. Set in the 1980s and a direct sequel to a fan favourite Black Ops 1, Cold War requires you to dive into all the possible game modes, this being multiplayer, zombies, Dead Ops Arcade, and of course the campaign. Starting off with multiplayer, there are a total of 5 achievements for you to obtain. Upon entering my first match, I was actually granted 3 free achievements for past playtime on a different platform, but please do not tell Activision this because we all know they do not like giving out stuff for free.
Hello, I like money.
Someone clearly snitched though, because following this I was thrown into an endless loop of queuing trying to find lobbies for the final 2 multiplayer achievements. After this I had to switch over to zombies because I was staring at the main menu so long it was sending me insane. Within zombies there are a total of 9 achievements for you to obtain, and similar to multiplayer I was granted a couple of these for past playtime. This lasts 7 to unlock, most of which naturally unlocked whilst completing the Easter egg, but there was one delay whilst obtaining Entomophobia, as I somehow managed to go onto the wrong map, which almost sent me over the edge as I had to redo the whole thing again. Luckily this didn't take too long and we could then return to the Easter egg, which only actually took around an hour to complete. Whilst the story told throughout is great, the lack of cutscene to end was pretty disappointing, especially given what we're used to from past CODs, but from what I recall, this mode was pretty rushed because of the reduced time frame given to Activision once Sledgehammer backed out of development. Still, it would have been nice to have gotten a little cutscene no matter the length. It was now time for us to dive into the campaign, which has 24 achievements located within. At first glance this looks straightforward, but due to the tanky enemies and missable achievements throughout, you actually had to pay attention at times, otherwise you would end up getting stuck on certain missions, losing your sanity. The first mission consists of us getting blackout drunk at a bar with Woods and our new friend Adler, before chasing a man across the rooftop to fill our night's entertainment. At this point we're introduced to a feature that allows us to shape the outcome of the story, which as far as I'm aware we haven't seen before, and definitely connects you to the story more. I'm not sure why, but temptation soon got the better of me. After our plane was delayed, we found ourselves at a runway chasing the Tiger King, before watching him kill 2 of his own men for seemingly no reason. Upon missing our shot, which was clearly aimed right at him, we revert to blowing up the plane with an RCXD, causing the AI to attempt a stunt jump, which went well, before stopping his escape and getting ourselves a nice little reward. After a meeting on diversity within the workplace, we decided it would be best to hire Park, as well, I'll let you decide that part. We then find ourselves with Adler in a flashback mission, which definitely set off nostalgia from the old World War II headquarters. This mission is centered around the flight to an allied base which is under attack. After a little side mission where we find a couple of Russians up to no good in a shack, we're given an achievement for getting a little too touchy with the locals. Once arriving at the base, we face our first opportunity at a missable achievement, which I actually had to attempt more than once because I clearly hadn't read the description of the achievement, and so wasn't destroying all the mortars. After picking up the nuke for extract, I thought the mission was surely over now as we made our way home, but someone clearly had other plans as we were immediately struck by our own helicopter. This introduced us to what I thought would be hell, upside down on a turret shooting countless enemies. Somehow I did this first try, but I can imagine this being a pain to do for others. After crashing a baby shower, we continued to spray at anything that moves, awaiting backup. Congrats on the girl by the way, before getting another achievement. We somehow then found ourselves on a date with a baddie, before things got intense as we found ourselves a little tied up back at hers. Unknown to me, she had a husband who didn't take too kindly, as the next thing we knew, we found ourselves bound to a chair. Clearly Part was getting a little jealous watching as she decided to ruin all the fun and bringing all the attention back to herself. After this, to Park's dismay, I accidentally killed Volkov, which I'm sure she was thrilled about. Needed another much needed change of scenery, Woods takes us to a Russian military base for some sightseeing, but after we tried to get a closer view, he has to come and rescue us. Getting back to work, we find ourselves at a practice range so that we can try out the new buff to aim assist, where after a short session, we grab ourselves another achievement. Our holiday was definitely over by this point though, as we encounter our first armoured enemy. This guy just didn't want to die, which wasn't helped by the fact he could shoot through walls, but after many deaths we do finally manage to eliminate him. The ending to this mission does have us shoot our way out, which to be honest I was half expecting it to be an achievement for shooting these ATVs, as they weren't easy to destroy. But to be honest, I'm definitely not complaining. At this point I was getting bored and started to skip everything, which actually foretold what was about to come. After sneaking through the start of the mission, we grab ourselves another achievement for shooting someone with a bow while ziplining. Before arriving at the part of the mission, I would go on to spend the most time of any during the campaign. There is an achievement which requires you to kill 12 enemies whilst the escalator raises you from the ground. This is literally recommended to be completed on recruit, but my dumbass thought that it would be a walk in the park, and decided to spend the next hour trying to complete it on veteran.
Stupid!
Eventually I gave up and just finished the mission for the veteran progress, before coming back to end my suffering on recruit. The next mission was actually my favourite of them all, and it has us play as a Russian informant where we're given a bunch of tasks with the goal of obtaining a bunker key. After framing this totally innocent general, we swipe his keycard, allowing me and Adler to enter the base. After a close call in the elevator, we somehow get all the way to the data room without anyone noticing, before reenacting fan favourite No Russian on the way out of the base.
Come here for everybody! Kill everybody!
Even before this throwback, it was my favourite mission, so this was just an added bonus. At this point I realised that I still had to complete 2 side missions, and I wasn't sure if these were going to be available after I completed the campaign, so I thought it was best to get them out of the way now. The first of which had us interrupt a family holiday, killing a guy as he got out of the shower in his motel room. The second took us to a multiplayer map to kill another guy, who most likely is still trying to find a fire team lobby like myself. Returning to our search of Perseus, to no surprise he again escapes, this time with a ton of nuclear codes for his troubles. In better news, we did manage to grab another achievement whilst using this AC-130 to kill a bunch of enemies, before being faced with an impossible decision. I felt sorry for Lazar here as there were more pros for saving Park. We soon find out that the character that we play, Bal, is just a mere puppet for the CIA, brainwashed for information. In this mission, we are thrust into a simulation with the ability to listen to Adler or disobey him. This mission is pretty good at first, but it soon grew tiresome due to the fact that you have to rerun the scenarios 8 different times just to get the 3 achievements for this mission. Following this, I decided to lie to Adler, setting him up for an ambush, giving him a taste of his own medicine, as well as wiping out the rest of the squad. I tried to give Adler one last wish, but he continued to show my lack of brain cells, nearly catching me off guard.
Do you believe in a flying spaghetti monster too, Bubblehead?
I wasn't talking about spaghetti.
I still needed to complete the alternate ending for the campaign and the achievement within. This actually took me multiple attempts, and I'm not entirely sure why, because you don't actually have to do much to get it. Following this, we start to plant the C4 on the turrets before Sleepy Joe falls asleep, pressing the red button and causing friendly fire.
Huh? Nice!
To finish, we're left on a mountain with Adler, who must have been watching a John Wayne film prior, because we are then left with a classic western ending. And who won? Well, you have to buy the DLC to find out that. The end was within my grasp at this point, with only 7 achievements left, 5 of which within Dead Ups Arcade. 4 of these naturally came whilst progressing through one specific achievement, reunited with Fidelina. Different to other iterations of the mode, you actually had to complete this one, and for those of you that had played previously, know that this is a daunting task. One that I was not entirely sure I'd be able to complete. After looking at a few guides, I saw that there was a mode that saves your highest round and knew that this would come in useful. Luckily, I cleared most of the rounds in one of my first attempts before dying at the boss fight. This one session took over 4 hours, so I can't imagine the pain it would have caused without the progress save. In our second attempt at the boss, we took a different approach, choosing the firepower rune before easily taking him down. This of course left us with 2 achievements to obtain, Mean Machine and Party Patrol. Due to the lack of lobbies, I had to resort to RCXDs to slowly edge out Mean Machine, which by the time I finished, it really wasn't too bad. Unfortunately, the same couldn't be said for Party Patrol. After a month with nothing, I was pretty much ready to throw in the towel, leaving this goal incomplete. But on what must have been a magical night, we managed to string together games, wait into the night, finally finishing what at times I thought might have been impossible.
Oh, let's go!